Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com. It's a rainy day here in the woods, and just thought I'd show you what I'm up to right now. I decided to do a little spring cleaning on my 76 Trans Am, doing some detail work. What I really like about this car, and what I'm going to rant about here for just a moment, something I've been kind of going back and forth with a couple guys on the site about the merits and virtues of the old stuff versus the new stuff. Just looking at this engine bay, what do you see? You see the engine. There it is. There's no plastic cover on it. There's the intake manifold. It's right there. Pretty simple and pretty straightforward. There's the flange for the carburetor. That's that right there. 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Throttle linkage. That's the whole shebang. Here it is. The carburetor. This is the fuel delivery system for the Trans Am. And it's the entirety of the fuel system. There are no peripherals, there are no electronics, there are no sensors, there's no wiring harness, and there's no computer. 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it out, clean it, adjust it, fix it, easy peasy, Japanesey. The fuel pump is really the only other component of the car's fuel system, and that's right down here. You probably can't see it on the driver's side of the engine, hanging off the block, held in by 2 bolts. Get it out in 10 minutes, replace it, no fuss, no muss. My modern vehicle, an 02 Nissan Frontier, developed a problem with its fuel system. The fuel pump is in the tank, and the fuel pump is part of an assembly, air quotes, that's what Nissan calls it, that includes the fuel lines, the sensor for the fuel gauge inside the truck, and so on. And they only sell it as an assembly, the whole thing. So one of the steel lines had failed due to rust, and the only realistic thing to do is replace the whole thing as an assembly. And Nissan wants, wait for it, $400 for that assembly, versus, I don't know, $30 for a fuel pump that I can take off in 5-10 minutes or so with hand tools. With the Nissan, like all modern cars, pretty much all modern cars, the fuel pump is in the tank, and that means you have to drop the fuel tank to get at the fuel pump, and that's a hassle. And then, of course, you've got the fuel injection system itself with all of its peripherals. Now, I know some of my readers who disagree with me will cite the better reliability of the fuel injection, the maintenance-free nature of the fuel injection, and all of that is perfectly true. As a general rule, this stuff will run reliably for years and years and years, but eventually it's going to start to have problems. Components do age, deteriorate, and fail, and when they do, then you have to replace them when they're electronic for the most part. That carburetor, it's a metal casting, so barring physical damage to this casting, if somebody over-tightens these bolts, for example, this is made out of aluminum or magnesium, I forget what the material is, but it's fairly fragile, and if you over-tighten it, you can warp the base or the top, and that can cause problems, and sometimes the throttle shaft, which is this thing in here, will wear out, but generally these things can be rebuilt multiple times over many decades for next to nothing. A rebuild kit costs about $50, and if you're a reasonably competent do-it-yourself mechanic, you can put the thing back together and tune it and get it running for $50 for years. And then every once in a while you'll have to do a periodic adjustment. You might have to adjust the mixture screw. There's one. There's another one. You might have to adjust the idle speed. There's the screw for that. You might have to clean it, which involves either a light exterior spray with some gum out or taking it apart and cleaning it with the gum out. Again, very easy, basic hand tools. Do it on the workbench. Take the thing off in 5 minutes. You're good to go. Fuel injection's a lot more complicated. Anyway, that's all that I've got this morning. I'm trying to think of something else to bring out and bring to the table, but I really don't. Thank you for watching, and love to hear your comments, pros and cons. Come on down to epautos.com, the Cranky Guys Libertarian car site, and we will catch you on the flip-flop.